Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Ooni of Ife in shock as Dr. Lizzy's parents came to him and, explained to him that they had a very terrible attack after they left Palace. Dr. Lizzy's parents came up with everything that happened to them, and they warned Ooni of Ife that he must be very, very careful with Olori Naomi. He must be very, very careful with Tadenikawo, and he needs to take care of Dr. Lizzy. Ooni should understand that, there are people around him who are ready to do and undo to ensure that Queen Naomi never returns back into the palace. If you have heard what is going on, Dr. Lizzy was born into a Mountain of Fire family, and the father is a pastor in the Mountain of Fire. The man sees, the man does everything, okay? But the reason why I don't like bringing that issue here is because people are very judgmental. Every time you talk about Dr. Lizzy's parents being pastor and all of that, they keep saying, yes, so a true pastor will not give their daughter out to a man who is marrying 10 wives. The truth remains that Dr. Lizzy is not a baby. Dr. Lizzy is not as young as you people think. Dr. Lizzy is over 35 years old. She can make her own decision. If she fell in love with Ooni of Ife and she said she wanted to marry Kabiyesi, knowing that she's not getting any younger, why should that be people's problem? Okay, so they said that, last week we heard that there was an incident in the palace where Dr. Lizzy was trying to navigate her way into a certain place in the palace. Going out of the gate, the car rammed into a pavement and the light was broken. Now, when we heard that, they said that report or investigation was pointing towards the fact that somebody may have tried to tamper with her brakes and all of that, even though that is very inconclusive. And do not forget, these are all alleged information. As soon as it is concluded, I'm going to bring you that update here. And they say Ooni had to call for accident investigation to come and find out what actually happened to that car, because it is a brand new car. So because of that, Dr. Lizzy's parents came. They said they flew from Lagos. They are living in Magodu in Lagos. That is where they are residents, okay? That they came from Lagos to meet with the Ooni of Ife in fear of what might happen to their daughter. And the mother was crying the entire time, telling Ooni of Ife that she did not release her daughter to come and buy you. Now, Dr. Lizzy is their only daughter. That if Ooni of Ife is not going to do something about what is going on in the palace, let Dr. Lizzy go and stay with them for a while until they are sure that the palace is safe. Not that they wanted to remove Dr. Lizzy out of her matrimonial home. No, that was not what they said. I've heard where people said that they said they wanted to get Dr. Lizzy out of her matrimonial home. If she's not going to be safe, let her have a divorce. No, that's not what my own contact told me. They said that they were going to go with Dr. Lizzy to be sure that Dr. Lizzy can be safe until issues are dealt with properly in the palace. So right now, when they came and Ooni pleaded with them, Naomi also added her voice that Dr. Lizzy should not go, that everything is going to be fine and all of that. And Dr. Lizzy herself was not even willing to go because she wants to be with her husband. But they said that on their way back, okay, you know that there is no airport in Ile-Ife, so they used to drive to, I don't know where they used to catch their flight. They said the first thing was a very big bird, flying bird, that the bird just ran into the glass, hit the glass, and the glass, as in the windshield in front of the car that was carrying them, got broken. Now, that, as if that was not enough, Dr. Lizzy's father said he knew something was up and coming for them, and they kept driving. And as they were driving, the second thing, the tire punctured, like seriously, with a very loud sound, and he was wondering where that was coming from, and the driver almost lost control. But as God will have it, they were able to go and move over to Lagos. Now, in the house in Lagos, they said Dr. Lizzy's mother fell in the bathroom, like something that has never happened. they fell seriously in the bathroom, that even when they went to bed, they could not sleep. They had this, very negative energy around them. They had to pray. They had to pray. And it was there and then they found out that this thing that we are seeing like this is more spiritual than physical. You see, this drama that you're seeing every day, one drama, the next day another drama, the next day another drama. That is the physical one that we are seeing. The man said that Dr. Lizzy's father told Kabiesi that the spiritual fight that is going on can never be compared to what is happening physically. That the people are fighting back and forth, and their one fight is that Queen Naomi never returns back to the palace. And we are all aware that this is not just the wives that are fighting this fight. There are people inside the royal palace who feel that Queen Naomi is disturbing them spiritually, who don't want Queen Naomi in that palace. From the first time that Ooni of Ife brought Queen Naomi into that palace, it was a very bad deal for them. It was something they never ever wanted. It was something they never thought could ever imagine. They could ever imagine. The reason is because Queen Naomi is a very prayerful woman. Queen Naomi is a child of God. They say Queen Naomi used to pray a lot in the palace, and that prayer was one thing that was really disturbing their gathering, and it was one thing that they never ever wanted. And so they kept fighting Queen Naomi day in, day out. They fought and fought, but because she was very strong in prayers, it did not really affect her until the later part of her stay in the palace, where all of these women were allowed to come in, from Abike Jagaban, from this Olori Timitok, Olori Runke, Olori Miriam. All of them were allowed to come in. And, that was when Ooni of Ife made the biggest mistake. And their spiritual fight was able to be brought to physical. And at that point, Queen Naomi could not stay again. And Queen Naomi decided to leave. Now, Dr. Lizzy's parents are telling Ooni of Ife that, look, bringing Queen Naomi to the palace is one thing. But being sure that Queen Naomi is safe is another thing. I do know that it's God who keeps people safe, but we as humans, we have a part to play in that. You need to be very careful with Queen Naomi and Tadenikawo, because with the kind of attack we have seen, we can imagine the type that Queen Naomi is going through. But it's because she is a very strong woman of God that these arrows are not reaching her. Because Dr. Lizzy's father says he is very sure that they have been throwing lots and lots and lots of arrows on Queen Naomi, even with Tadenikawo, but it's God that is shielding Queen Naomi. That only needs to be very careful and take the security of these women very, very, not take it lightly at all. And also, they pleaded with Ooni to take care of their daughter. That they sent their daughter to come and marry you because they thought she would be safe. That Ooni should know what he is up against. I wanted to bring you this update. I'm going to bring you more. Appreciate you so much.